I'm fucking ruining this paint job, dude, obviously.
We just put this on.
Well, that's fine, dude.
My God, what happened? The wrap bubbled up everywhere.
It's falling off.
It got ruined.
It's foundationally failing.
It was failing from the foundation. It was not prepared correctly. Just kidding. Here we are. What is this? 6 months later? It's been at least like 2 or 3 months. And Matt decided that he loved the stripes so much that we're gonna paint them on the side of the car. But obviously, Protégé is looking a little rough, right? So we're not gonna paint these beautiful gold stripes down on the bottom of this thing with the, you know, chips and flakes and the spray painted roof and the sun fade and the dents. Right, look at all. Yeah, dinger. Oh yeah, there's a bullet hole. Show them that hole, dude. Damn.
I think that's what he said.
So what we're doing is respraying the whole thing. He's got some other wheels that are getting paint matched to the gold. We got a whole mystery theme planned up here. Y'all are gonna see. This thing's gonna be sick. We're not just going plain red. It's gonna have some spice to it. Yeah, oh yeah, dude. There's some surprises to be had. Probably some surprises under this molding. So we're gonna start prepping this thing out. I think we're gonna go around it right now, and some of the spots that need the metal pulled, like this guy, pretty bad. Got a little dinger right here on the very edge of the fender that we don't want to just make that out of filler. We got this edge of the door here, it's a little folded in this section. So we got a few little spots here and there. We're gonna go around and get the metal straightened out, and then we're gonna mark all the spots where there's little dings, scuff them up real quick, and then just put some glazing putty in them. Get that stuff all sanded smooth, and then we're gonna buzz the whole car in 150 grit, edge it all out, tape around all the glass and moldings and stuff that's still on the car, and then we're gonna get 2 or 3 heavy coats of polyester super build primer on there, chisel this thing real nice and flat, and then should be pretty much ready to go. It's not gonna take too much. The car's not terribly destroyed. Obviously I gotta weld the bullet hole and gotta weld up some emblems. He doesn't want the emblem holes on the back anymore, so gonna countersink those and throw a little bit of weld, grind them smooth, dough them. So we got 4 hours to prep this thing. 4 hours. 4 hours, and it's got to be ready for primer. That's the goal. For 3.5 hours of work, we're chugging along. The hood actually only had 1 little dinger in it. I got that spot on the fender pulled out pretty damn good in the metal. It just took 1 quick skim with the glaze, and then I sharpened out the body line a little bit with some yellow 3M tape and kind of flipping the tape line, sanding back and forth. And then the rest of this was all just little dingers and stuff that we just buzzed down real quick and gave him a quick little bit of putty. and it's looking pretty good. So we got the whole passenger side's done. I got the bullet hole welded up, and we got that sanded smooth. It took one skim with the regular lightweight body filler, and then skim with the putty to fill the pinholes and stuff. I got these emblem holes welded. I haven't gotten to sand these down yet, but they just got a little bit of glaze putty over top of them. And then this side, we've just got, this side should go really quick. I think we can do this in probably 45 minutes. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna finish up the bodywork on this thing, buzz it all down in 150, and then it should be ready to go for polyester primer. We'll show you guys some tricks and stuff on how we mask off the body lines and stuff with the polyester so that it doesn't get all messy, because we're not painting the jambs on this one. So you got to be careful not to get all the overspray and like nasty texture and stuff built up down in the jambs. So I'll show you like my trick for doing that stuff. And it should be a 220 grit block after the polyester, and then guide coat, 400 grit wet sand, and then I think we're good for sealer. We're gonna shoot it. Here we are. It's 6 a.m. The sun's not even out yet. He's trying though. Yeah, it's getting there. What are we gonna do today, huh? You already know. We're gonna get this thing all body worked, and then yeah, I'm just gonna start doing body work.
Well, she's all prepped out, dude. We got everything sanded in 150 grit, all the body filler and stuff. It's all feather edge to 150. We went ahead and all these edges, we just sanded on the peak of the edge, because we're actually going to just do hard tape lines with all the primer. It sounds a little bit weird, but I don't like getting that high build polyester stuff like down in all these grooves and edges and stuff like that if you're not doing it like a complete, you know, door jambs and all that. It just makes too much of a mess. So we do the faces, all the panels, and then we're just going to sand down the edges, feather them in with the final sanding, and then we went over everything with the red Scotch pad just to make sure that everything's sanded. So yeah, we blew it off, and we're gonna go around and wipe it down with wax and grease remover right now, roll it in the booth, and then after lunch, mask it up, and y'all are gonna get to see us spray some primer on this thing today. Here we are!
Dude, talk about super build, dog. Show the camera.
Super thick.
This is after we mixed it.
Does it need that much material? Hell no. Are we gonna put it on it? Hell yeah. Yeah, realistically, like, you know, just 2 good heavy coats probably be pretty good. Might hit it with 3. That's gonna give us plenty of material to block this thing all out nice and glassy and flat and smooth.
That's gonna be so stoked, dude.
All right, we're gonna spray this thing. We got the Optex Super Build. We're spraying that out of the here SATA. that dang SATA gun. The 100B RP with 2.5 polyester nozzle. We got another one of these on the way too with a 1.4. That's gonna be the new dedicated sealer gun. All right, it's time, bro. So this is the part where everything really kind of starts to take shape, I guess. You know, you get that polyester primer down. We're long blocking everything out in 180 grit right now. Normally on like a restoration job or something that we're going a little bit more in depth, we would have done 3 coats of polyester and then started blocking it in 120 or 80 grit. On this one, we're just doing 180, being real careful to keep all the shapes and edges and curves all nice and contoured. And then we're just going over it with 320 and then locking it down with 2 coats of epoxy. So we got the polyester primer all blocked out. Remember I talked to you about how the edges, we intentionally masked them off on all these hard bends and stuff. And we did that just to keep the build of the polyester and any like potential dry spray from getting down in any of the door jambs and crevices and stuff like that. It's gonna help since we're not painting the jambs on the car, so it doesn't look like real gritty and nasty in the jambs when you pop the doors open and stuff. So we went ahead and feathered all those edges down. What we're gonna do now is shoot probably 2 coats of just a regular epoxy primer over the whole thing. That's gonna create a nice uniform base for us to paint on top of. Tomorrow morning, I think we're gonna lay down the surprise on the bottom half of the doors and the roof. So stay tuned for that. Day after that, we're sanding the surprise down and we're shooting the rest of the car. So hopefully in a couple days here, this thing's gonna be looking icy. We had a couple cut throughs here that we went ahead and just spotted a little bit of epoxy over a few days ago. We let that cure up and stuff and just scuffed it down a little bit. I really like to use epoxy primers over cut throughs and like little bare metal spots showing through, because urethane primers, no matter how much they advertise it, they're not really designed to be direct metal. And epoxy is going to give you a way better, way stronger foundation, way more of a uniform base for things to go over top of. It's gonna help seal down and lock down any little cut throughs and stuff so they don't show back through. If you're a painter or you even know how to look at paint, you've probably noticed old paint jobs or even fresh paint jobs that have been sprayed and then cut and buffed, and then a couple weeks later you can see little rings around the bodywork and stuff coming back through to the surface. That's generally because they locked everything down with the urethane and it shrunk back. Epoxy doesn't shrink back like that, and it just makes it a little bit more foundationally solid too. Get a little bit better adhesion with what you spray over top of it. Oh shit, we gotta mask that off, dude.
What? Oh, we did it again.
The door handle, again.
Same thing.
All right, we're gonna finish up the masking and we're gonna get the epoxy on this thing. This is a different SATA 100B. This one's the RP 1.4 instead of the 2.5 that we use for the polyester. This is an awesome sealer gun, awesome polyester gun, awesome all-around gun, bro. Here we are. What is going on, you might ask? Well, we got the epoxy all sprayed, laid on really nice and smooth. Sprayed that last night, and then we came back in this morning, tapped it real light with some 800 grit, and then gray Scotch pads. And now we're gonna lay down this bling and gold Vegas base, and then we got a little something, cat's out the bag now, going over top of that. It's called Chokehold Gold by Paint Huffer. It's got 3 different sizes of flake in it, and then we're gonna bury it all with this Lumabase 2-to-1. This is a really nice restoration quality clear. Super high solids, levels out real nice. Got some good build to it. So yeah, it's 6 a.m. We're gonna get this thing shot and roll out in the sun today so you guys can see it. Equipment for the job. We're gonna go ahead and use old trusty, the 100 RP with the 1.4 for the base coat. And then we got the 100 with the 2.5. A little bit hard to see, but you can see the size of the opening in the nozzle. It's gonna be perfect for spraying down some flake. We're gonna suspend the flake in some carrier base. It's just clear inner coat essentially. And yeah, just load on a couple heavy coats, get it nice and covered, and then bury it. The base is still a little bit wet, so it's gonna look like kind of weird, and you know, you can see it's still flashing off. So weather's just a little bit cold here this morning, so it's taking its jolly time. I mean, I guess it's cold for us, right? Yeah. It's like 75 degrees.
2 more months of this, and then we're back to 103.
So once this flashes off, bro, we load it up, load the flake up in this bad boy, and starts the 2.5, dude. I already gave him the rundown. Look at that flake. A little bit harder to see the sides right now because the sun's pretty much at high noon, so we don't have any real light hitting them. But make sure I get a shot once the sun's a little bit lower down. But you can see we did 2 different steps of soft edge on the design down here so that we could spray the base coat over top. So this first body line right here is where we sprayed the base and the flake up to, and then we peeled that foam soft edge tape and we set it up about a 1/2 inch higher for the clear coat to go past it. So now we can feather the clear into the epoxy and everything will be nice and uniform, and we'll be able to burn this edge down still because there's plenty of clear right there. And then we got 3 coats of that 2-to-1 high solids clear over top, so you should be able to cut this nice and smooth. And then we're gonna flow coat it when we spray the rest of the car. And this right here, it does suck, right? But this kind of goes to show what I was talking about. So epoxy will try to grab onto literally anything you spray on top of it. And these solvents going through the masking paper were even enough for the epoxy to want to bite into it. So it took a little bit of the paper with it. And this is even unsanded epoxy too. So this is literally just straight over the top. But I'm gonna go around, and you can see I tested a little spot here. I'm gonna go around with just some 500 real light by hand and just tap this stuff smooth. It's just sitting on top of the surface. So I'll sand that a little bit later today, and once this is nice and cured up. I rolled it out a little bit preemptively because it doesn't really matter if it gets any dust in the surface because it's all getting wet sanded flat anyway. We got this whole thing scuffed down. Real light with 500 and gray Scotch pads. So what we're gonna do now is mask up these designs here on the side. You can see I was talking about, we did that soft edge and then the clear coats got up here into the primer a little bit and we feathered it out. See how nice that edge came out, dude? Look at that. Look at that. Can't even tell. Can't even tell. So yeah, I'm gonna grab this here green design tape and start laying down some lines, bro. Should look pretty sick. This whole center section here, we still got to cover up with some paper masking. This is all staying gold, and then obviously everywhere there's tape is still gonna be gold. So kind of like a 80s, 90s theme, like retro graphic we were going for. I think it looks pretty sick. And matches the one that we had done in the vinyl. We just changed a couple little things that kind of we felt like it needed. Well, here we are. Check it out, dude. Check it out. All masked up, ready for sealer. All wiped down. Hit it with some wax and grease remover. Dried it off. We're gonna hit it with the tack rag and the anti-stack gun. And then she's ready for some sealer. We're gonna be using this Luma base 4-to-1 sealer in gray from, you know, the 1.4 SATA. We'll be laying down base with the LPH 400 with the LVX cap 1.3, and then clear with the Supernova WS 400 1.4.
Fred, you guys see what the happened? Remember that Sentra you did the bumper on? He hit a curb.
Oh God.
From what I've assessed, tie rod got yanked out, axle got yanked out, control arm is tacoed, strut got pulled apart and hit by the axle. The power steering rack, all the way to the other side, is like bust out. There's no power steering fluid
Bust
in
down.
it. Busted out.
Bust down.
No bust down. Oh, this was the oil filter I just took off.
Oh shit.
I'm guessing it got hit by the wheel or the axle or both. Everything's covered in axle grease. I'm going to drain it because I want to see. Yeah, hold on. And for the matching side.
Oh God. So that's where he popped. Don't scratch it, dude.
But if you got a quick second, I want to see how much oil comes out of it.
Shit, it's fucked. Better hurry up, boy. I'm on time's crunch here. I gotta get that car painted.
Well, let me move the filter so you don't get splashed with oil, Mr. Clean.
It's all. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Hey, I hate to
And
say
that
it,
is
bud,
how much
but
oil came out of this car right now.
your car is fucked.
Didn't you turn it on and leave it running afterwards?
I've
too?
never seen not even a drop come out. Like, dry.
There was no oil in it.
Absolutely no oil.
I could tell you all about how cool this thing looks, but I think it'd be better to just show you.
Man, it looks way more purty, full noon sun.
glad we did the lacing. We didn't just keep it plain.
Yeah. Dude, it dialed back the gold to this perfect amount of like decal and bling.
Yeah. How does it feel knowing that you now own the cleanest Mazda Protégé
In the whole country.
in the whole country?
You know, I'm part of the 0.00001% now.
You know? Damn, dude. It's going down in the Guinness Book of World Records right here. You guys heard it first. World's cleanest Protégé.